Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Yusuf Siddiqui. I was in a meeting with a client few days back. Let me take you through in this way. So I was meeting with a client, and we were not talking about people. We were talking about target audience. And one of the participants, he raised his hand and tell me that can we capture them very young so that we can build our loyalty? I was confused what he is about to say. And then he shared with me a slide where he showcased his target audience. So ladies and gentlemen, it was a baby which was displayed on the slide. So actually, the baby was not child in that room at this time. From marketeer perspective, he was a consumer. The same like for an educator would be a learner. For a government, it could be a number. For sure, for parents, it would be everything. But for them, specifically, they were considering it as a consumer. And why they were thinking like this? Because yes, the moment you change the lens, you see it, ultimately it starts happening for you. So countries like Pakistan, our beloved country, so close to 20,000 babies are born every day, 7 million a year. So from the marketer perspective, there are 7 million new customers. So every year, there are 7 million new customers entering into this market. And the moment a child is born, that 20,000 in Pakistan, they become customers of 19 industries, including healthcare, including textile, either it is clothing, everything, food. So they become customers of 19 industries. That is the reason all of them, they consider that particular baby from the very first day as consumer because they are marketeers. So the moment they change the lens, for us is a baby, they change the lens, so they see them as their current customers, as their future customers. So if we see from the Pakistan's overall perspective, these people in Pakistan generally, if you see, they spend almost close to 5 years of their life scrolling on the social media. 3 hours, 4 hours a day on average. It comes out to be 5 years of their life scrolling. It is also estimated that normally in a day's time, we scroll up to the height of Minar-e-Pakistan every single day. Recent estimates. So once you scroll, at the end of the day, it is giving some message to a marketer because you are connecting with the technology, you are connecting with the device. And once you connect, of course, they get some messages. And then at the end of the day, it shapes your choice, your preferences, because that is ultimately the marketers are driving the whole thing in the same way. So gradually, countries like Pakistan, generally the journey of a child from, I call it M to M, from milk to mobile, in the past was close to be 10 years. But very recently, I was reading an article where they shared that it is now reduced to 18 months. 18 months. So a child has an exposure of a kind of digital interaction. 90% of them, they have their first interaction before they reach to the age of 24 months. Mostly 18 months. 90% of them. Huge number. And then, in this case, for sure now, with this digital interaction, you can easily see they have the choice what to eat, what not to eat, what to drink, what not to drink, even what to wear, what not to wear, and most importantly, what to use as a content, what to consume as a content. So you tell them to see this, they will see that. You tell them to show this rhymes, they will not see that rhymes. So ultimately, their choices and their preferences, they shaped. And by the time a marketer will take them all in the manner they would like to take. Let me quickly give you an example of a brand in Pakistan. So when Oreo launched in Pakistan, Oreo is a global brand. If you just search, or the search engine, what's the top cookies brand or biscuits brand in the world, would be Oreo. But in Pakistan, when they launched, it was a failure. Why? Because our children did not have exposure of a black cookie or black biscuit. Throughout their life, they have seen a yellow kind of cookie, yellow kind of biscuit. So when they see that, it was a failure. They did not accept that. So Oreo did a complete educational campaign. इसको पहले twist करें, फिर lick करें, फिर dunk करें. And that educational campaign, in the 4-5 years time, took them to the level where they are currently the top 2 brands in the country. So that is how the choices are, formed and choices are changed. Exactly in the same manner. For example, once you open any social media app on your mobile, any app, so you see something whenever you open. But it is really the one that you are actually seeing it, or 80% of the time, it is the recommendations, it is the suggestions of the algorithm that they would like to show you. And then definitely, gradually, once you see that, ultimately it shapes your choices and preferences. Why I'm more focused on choices and preferences? Because that shapes the whole economy. That shapes the whole consumption pattern. And then from the very day first, if that is inculcated in a way, ultimately, that particular baby has been tuned to it. For example, generally if you open an app to buy anything, any mobile app, to buy anything on the social media, or mobile app, for example, on Daraz or something, what do you think? Who is making that decision? Is it you who's making the decision, or your decision has been influenced by something? So again, a research that says 90% of the decisions are either influenced by, for example, reviews, by, for example, feedbacks, by, for example, influencers. And then ultimately, you change the decision to buy that product. That is one of the reasons when competition of Daraz, Temu, they launched in Pakistan. So normally once a brand, when they do a marketing campaign, so they do a campaign on 40 ads or 10 ads or 20 ads, maximum 50 ads. So when Temu launched in Pakistan, a soft launch just to gauge the market pulse, how the market is reacting, how the market is, it was more like a market testing. So they had 600 ads simultaneously running all across all platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, every platform. The objective was to get the pulse of the customer. And at the end of the day, at the end of the campaign, the duration of the campaign was close to 6 months. They made their numbers. Numbers of what? Sales? No. They actually were able to get the attention of the customer. And attention for a marketer is a currency. And attention is not free. So if you are able to get the attention, any brand is able to get the attention, which means for him is a currency, and it is for sure it is not free. You have to pay the price of it. But for the consumer, that attention is life. So I just would like to conclude very quickly on this. Normally, any country, any business, once you see that business happening, it changes once you change the customer preferences on the ground. Either it is a very young baby that shapes the whole economy. For example, 7 million people in a year will be shaping the whole economy, the whole consumption pattern. Either it is food, either it is non-food, either it is grocery, either it is their product, commodity products. Any product, the whole essence will be changed once we change the lens. So it's the perspective that you see the customer. If you see the baby as a baby, it will be a baby. If you see that baby as a consumer, so the moment you change the lens, the outcome will be changed. Thank you so much. Will not take much time. Thank you.
Sure.